Myztro, but I am. I just want to say this is going to be a different kettle of fish right now.
But I think that's actually why it's going to be so interesting. As you can see, Liquid basically went head-to-head against each other.
Yeah.
But it was obviously DaHanG&Rapha that took that, and it was, you know, a very, very comfortable win for these guys.
We know that across the board, no matter what the patch is, Myztro can take maps off Liquid. It's just a case, how are they going to do it in competition?
Yes.
How is it going to be happening?
And competition, you know, this being the first Go4 monthly tournament that we've had, you know, for those at home that might be thinking, what actually is the Go4? The Go4 actually takes place for a bunch of different games, and Quick Champions is no exception. This is basically, if anything, it's a means for players to get constant competition and experience for when these major lands take place. Obviously, there is prize money on the line. The first place team of this tournament is going to take home $700. The second place will be $400, and then third and fourth is $200 each. So everyone in this tournament, this top four, has made some money. But we've said it loads, and I'm going to say it again one last time. DreamHack Tours is a couple of weeks away. It's the first major LAN for 2v2, and there's $50,000 on the line. Almost, if not every team that we have seen play today is going to be at Tours. Yeah. So these guys are playing head-to-head now in a competitive environment. This tournament for both EU and NA has been everything from a viewer's perspective for storylines, for the player's perspective to figure out what areas do we need to improve going in to this big LAN tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of teams aren't really seeing enough of what their competitors are necessarily doing. Even in practice, it's harder to get their perspective when you're seeing everything just from your own eyes. When you get the sort of bird's eye view of it that we get, you're learning a little bit more about what's going on. I can only speak for a very limited amount of my own analysis, but when you've got the players, the pros that are studying the games, they're going to learn a lot about the certain nuances of these individuals.
And in the North American region, I mean, like, these guys are study mad, because the ethic of the North American teams, and particularly Liquid, how they, above everyone else, it's not just, we don't just, you know, we're not just playing 12 hours a day or something like that and just going and playing different game modes and scrimming with people. The training regime goes beyond that. You know, these guys watch VODs like mad. Really.
I respect the NA work ethic a lot more than the EU work ethic. I think they do a great job with their practice. I think they look at things from many different angles, and I can't say the same about lots of teams in the EU. I would love to see some of the European teams start to look at it more than just, I'm going to play and the hours I put in playing is going to make me better. It's not just that. That's my very skin-deep analysis on how to improve, and they need to branch out a bit. But nonetheless, guys, we'll put that aside and move into the grand finals. It is Myztro NA going up versus Team Liquid. And that is going to be Brick, who I'm on to start with. To quickly check out the lineups, it is Brick with the Doom, Dewey with the Visor, Rapha with Visor, and DaHanG with Galena.
Visor, Doom, and Galena. This really is the holy trinity of 2v2 as we're starting to see. It's been around for so long, and it's becoming ever so prominent now, especially a few patches ago where Galena got buffed, where her totems do more damage. You know, Doomslayer, there's never really been a point where Doomslayer has not been good. And Visor, in some ways, he's better than ever because he's got that stack, he's got the speed and the piercing sight lasting for 7 seconds, combined with the fact that the rail now does more damage than it has done before. It's a wonderful combination of things that you can use in 2v2.
For sure. We've got Visor, who's been kind of creeping up on the scene quite a bit over the last couple of patches, and now he's really, now that some of the other champions have simmered down a little bit, he's really coming into his own nicely. So it's very important to have, if you're in 2v2, one of you or your teammate has to be able to play a Visor effectively.
He took so many 100 damage rails, and because he got the final mega, was able to get away with his life. Not only that, but get some frags in the process. Excellent survivability.
Well, I'm going to stay on board with DaHanG for just a second, pushing hard with that LG, and is going to lock down the kill onto Brick.
And it's actually going to be DaHanG going in with Galena. Because I actually quite like this, because it shows that, you know, DaHanG was the one that went with one of the most interesting picks of this whole tournament with that Strog and Pika pick while they were on Corrupted Keep. And, you know, it's nice to know that, no, DaHanG's not all...
Oh my god.
It's just, I can't even finish talking because he's going for these insane frags. But it's not just all flavor picks. If I need to go with a champion that just works wonderfully, he'll do that too.
We just had a switch up.
Wait, we have?
When did that happen? What the hell is going on? He's going on for the quad. He's going to get it. It's a double, well, a mutual frag to himself. Well, and now Rapha's got it, but that is an interesting selection from Dewey. I know he's got a wide champion pool, and he's studied a lot of the champions in the game and got to a good level with pretty much all of them. But this is, I think he clearly feels that something has to change up here. Otherwise, he only feels it going one direction.
I wasn't sure we were going to see Slash today, least of all in the middle of a grand finals match. And, oh, no. Oh, suicide.
All right, who's going to get the spawn? Oh, it doesn't matter because DaHanG is there. He's got it covered.
Enough just to get one final frag. And Liquid looking very happy. Now, to remind you guys at home, this is grand finals, so we are in 3 out of 5 territory.
Sorry, I was looking to see if that pummel frag was going to come through.
Yeah,
and he
almost.
switched again. Okay, so what happened?
I don't know. Maybe he just thought for that one moment he wanted Slash.
Because I know there are some teams that are experimenting with changing your champion pick as the power-up is spawning. So that 30 seconds before the power-up, if you die or you force yourself to die in a forced 1v2 or something like that, you change your champion, get the ability up with them, so give enough time on your respawn so that you can have your ability up, and then challenge for the power-up, and then when you next die, you change back to someone else until the power-up is then going to spawn again.
Well, if Dewey does it again, I think we'll pay attention to the timer on this protection, because if we see him do it again, then obviously it will confirm that he's changing champion because he wants to command power-up a little bit more. Unfortunately, this experimentation, if he's gone for it, has not worked at all. Liquid have 20 frags, Myztro have 5. This is not going particularly well for these guys, and if they're going to try and go for this experimentation stuff in grand finals, this might not be the time to go for that.
Yeah, it's definitely not been favorable so far. Rapha's got a great stack. He's going into the power-up at the last moment. He's going to find Brick over there. Dewey is going to go down, but Brick is the one with the protection. He is so weak, though. He's got his berserk
so much damage.
Oh, lovely rocket at the end. This should be able to take out one more, but he's on 32 points of health. Goodbye to the totem. And even Mega Health, he's not going to go for that. Land these rails. There's the one. Wait, he's so weak. He's going to die. Did he have protection right at the end?
He's changed again. He's got...
What the hell?
So, the switch coming through to clutch. Now, it's going so bad, I think if they need to make a comeback and it's not working, then if Dewey's going to go, I'm going to change. If they're losing anyway, maybe this isn't the worst time to try something out. Using the shield to soak up the totem, is that going to be enough? He's done so much damage, but 1 HP, Dewey! This is a crazy map from him.
And he's going to be able to get himself to the Mega, which is going to be extremely helpful. Oh, looking for a rocket there! Oh, he didn't quite make the mid-air. Brick will be able to get himself the kill onto Rapha. Trying to 1v1 with DaHanG then, but he has got a pretty enormous stack.
Oh, here comes Clutch out of nowhere. But he's not going to be deterred.
Oof. It's hard to tell if they could be doing a better job, though, with the Clutch at the moment.
Now, if we've changed to Clutch, because the thing is, this is 3 out of 5, so... DaHanG.
Didn't even need the totem in the end, but it would have been fantastic had he picked it up. Shield comes out. Dewey's got to secure these kills.
He's got bunny ears, just FYI.
And that's good. It's actually adding to his potency.
I agree.
Let's go over to Dewey. All right, he is really cycling these hourglasses hard. Trying to bring back the days of Clutch.
He wants to
forcing it
back into the meta, kicking and screaming.
There's Mega there. Oh, but he's going to take so much damage from multiple corners. That Mega Health was taken also. Where are you, Rapha? Ouch. Oh, okay. Brick is actually on the side. Did manage to get that kill. DaHanG is not close enough, so there's a bit of a chance for a little mini comeback.
And they're going to be coordinating that to DaHanG. I don't think... Oh, no!
Wow, how did he do that?
He just somehow managed to dodge every tick of that LG. Minimal damage returned.
And he seemed to have an all right stack as well. He must have had the heavy recently, because that is unbelievable to have survived through all that.
Dewey's hiding away in the background. Actually, Rapha doesn't realize that he's going straight into Dewey there.
Now DaHanG with a clutch. Should know that shield's been used, and it's time to engage. Great weapon selection.
God. And that's one of the weaknesses of Clutch, isn't it? He has pretty much the biggest hitbox in the game.
Well, pretty much. It's just flat out, right, 100% huge.
For lack of a better term, really.
Yes.
Dewey getting surprised.
He's changed again.
He's changed again. Back to Visor, I think.
No, it's to Ranger.
No, it's Ranger. Okay, cool. Now, the thing is, this is 3 out of 5. I think you could definitely say... I think you could say with how I will say disastrous this first map is going for the Myztro guys. I think if this map is going to be anything, it's going to be data for Dewey to gauge what champion will work against these guys. He's cycled between, I think, 4 champions now, Visor, Slash, Clutch, and Ranger now.
Yeah, he's setting records right now. I've never seen this many champion picks in a game. I think the last time I saw something like this was when I saw Avec playing, when he was playing with... I think he was actually playing with Zron during one of the first ever European ESL 2v2s. And he just kept, it was on Corrupted Keep, and he just kept switching champions, and he was having an absolute nightmare of a game.
Well, this might be another one of those cases for Dewey. Like, because you can actually respect the changing in the sense that if he feels like something just straight up is not working, he needs to know going into future maps what his best champion will be against Liquid.
Oh, he's trying to hold on to that protection, doesn't quite get it. The punch comes out for Brick. Oops, sorry, I'm switching at 100 miles an hour right now. And their power-up plays haven't been bad at all, but it's been what's going on in between the power-ups that has really caused them great harm. And
oh, you know Brick is saying die, for God's sake!
DaHanG is just always so stacked. And, you know, if that's happening, if you're finding your DaHanG is that hard to kill, you got, right, we should probably be getting onto these items a little bit more, because it adds up as the game goes on. If you're not getting that item control, the pressure is mounting up. Oh, and Brick misses out on the rail. That possibly could have got the kill, and Rapha just turns around and makes it look so easy.
I mean, he just does it again, right? 5 more frags, and this will be map number 1. I think it's safe to assume that this is going to be a win for the Liquid boys, but, you know, we'll have to try and sort of get into the mind of Dewey and see what these champion changes were all about. Because
no,
he's still a Ranger for now.
Okay, just want to check.
But I just feel like, yeah, they're getting frag after frag, 2 more.
I kind of want this stat though, you know, the most amount of champion changes by a player in a given 2v2 map. And I'm going to give that record to Dewey right now. It's going to be my little award for him here in Blood Covenant in the finals.
Now, on the future maps, I'm just wondering if we're going to see the same thing. Because it has been quite interesting that he's... Are we going to see a 1v1 with Tribolt?
Oh,
we do! A 1v1 with a Tribolt just playing into his hands perfectly. And that was a superb map number 1 for Team Liquid.
Oh yeah, just absolutely surgical from them. Let's have a look at the stats over here. 27 for 11, 23 for 10. Dewey with a pretty rough game, I think it's fair to say. 8 for 28. He just couldn't really get into this one.
I don't think he'd get his groove. And I think at the end of the day, if it's going to happen, at least maybe it will happen in map 1.
Yeah.
Our next map is going to be Awoken. So I think Blood Covenant, it's quite a universal map. Quite a lot of champions work on that. Does Awoken sort of spark something different? Do we go, right, let's go with a weird pick here? Because if he's showing us right now that he's not shy of changing champion. The
funny thing is he picked Clutch, but I'd say this is by far the weakest map for Clutch, Blood Covenant, that is. So I'm like, that's just a really odd pick to go for. Even if it was the previous patch, I'd be like, that's the one time Clutch is like, right, maybe I could actually switch things up a little bit there and go to someone else. But Awoken, maybe Clutch is actually a lot more viable. That we could see possibly a Keel. We could possibly see a Strog. I mean, or they could go flat out. I think the Visor and Galena combination is really, really good on Awoken, and possibly the best composition to have at the moment. But we know that the NA like to experiment a bit.
Yeah, and I think that first map, we were looking at the lineups, and we were kind of, before all the changing took place from Dewey, we're like, okay, things are a little bit more traditional. This is more of what we were expecting to see. But to be honest with you, when it comes to Liquid, can't really fault those guys at all. I mean, they've done their thing. They are clearly very mechanically sound at 2v2. They're great at Quake champions anyway. Rapha and DaHanG, I mean, the sheer synergy they have together is near unrivaled, I think.
Completely. And in the NA, definitely, and even in the wider, like, across the world right now, people are looking at Rapha and DaHanG in terms of actually how they work together, how they're practicing together as well. So it's definitely a lot of teams. I'm very curious as well to see how they're going to be performing at DreamHack Tours, and that's always the underlining question, isn't it? I mean, it's because, for me, it's because they never really stopped playing team games together. And Dewey going Clutch first. You know, he's wasting no time. And there I saw a Pika. That was a Pika. Who's got the Pika?
DaHanG.
Dewey's Clutch. DaHanG is Strong and Pika. Rick is Doom, and Rapha is Visor. So we're not going to see the Galena Strog, which is obviously like the best combination you could have. Open parentheses C, close parentheses, Jason Kaplan and Zoot. Right, let's switch over to some of the others, because we've not had an exchange on frag just yet. I see, what is Dewey's not got a shield right now. He's going to find... Rockets are pretty good, but he's going to lose his life.
Oh, here he comes. And there's actually no, Actually, I like the fact that DaHanG opted, if he realized they were all dead and they were respawning, let's get rid of Pika because I'm probably in a lot of danger.
Yeah, because they're going to be on my side of the map, but I want to...
This can only mean one thing. Oh, missed the rail, but he's able to get the Berserk anyway.
And there's going to be heavy for Brick, so already feels like a better start for Myztro, but he's trying to get as much damage out as he can. He's only using the rail. I think Nailgun possibly would have been a little bit better from him. Let's see, can I... Oh, sorry guys. Don't know what the controls here.
Dewey, shield ready. I don't think he's going to use it on Rapha though. Unless he needs it, I was about to say.
I'd like to see him collect some hourglasses now to have it set up for quad, because not having it in 25 seconds time is going to suck for him.
One thing that's never really changed about Clutch, I don't think, is his ability to fight for a power-up and kind of just use the shield to bully his way onto a point. And if you look at the lineups, actually, Visor, the thing is, in a 2v2 where it's close range and very up close and personal on something like Awoken, you look at Visor and you look at Strog, I don't actually think they are two of the best champions that are well equipped to actually deal with the shield instantly, but very nice double from Rapha, and he's got the quad damage. Uh-oh, he's trying to punch him.
Uh-oh. Oh my god, he had to take a risk with that rocket just then. He almost killed himself. Shield comes in and Dewey gets it. Let's have to get over to Dewey as quick as we can, but DaHanG gets him.
That is not the first time DaHanG has been able to completely dodge Dewey when he should absolutely win because of the quad. Oh my god,
the exchanges right now. I'm trying to follow all these guys as much as I can, but quad is passing through every player's hands.
Now Liquid have the lead, but it's not a hugely significant one. Yeah, Dewey doesn't want to push too hard. Pika goes down, knowing that there's going to be a Strog nearby.
Oh, good rocket from Brick. Almost closes out. Does get it with the machine gun in the end. Dewey also getting some work done. Wow.
Oh no!
I thought he was going to be floating into the mega health just then, but Rapha somehow survived. Sorry, DaHanG somehow survives.
The fact that DaHanG was even able to tank a 100 rocket after the amount of damage that Brick had done before. That's one thing DaHanG always seems to do in these 2v2s is he just doesn't die. His management of how to manage his stack is great.
Oh, he's so vulnerable, 6 HP. I would look at killing myself really soon.
I think so.
He's going for mega. That was, no, that was really...
And I think
Dewey should have walked to that little side bit with the tree outside and just got himself that starting stack.
I also think he fat-fingered the ability and used the laser by mistake.
I think so.
Oh, Pika!
Oh my god!
Air assault!
It was right behind. He had the shield up as well then, didn't he?
I think so.
It looked like it, but okay.
And 2 of the Strog files.
Lovely.
He's almost completely healthy again. And he tanked the rail too. There's no way, there's no way he had to
be shut down. Absolutely had to be shut down. Rick is going to get himself the heavy armor. Gets 100 damage rocket onto DaHanG, which Dewey's able to finish off. Now going to be on board with Rapha as he tries to get himself over to the power-up as quickly as he can, but Brick has it instead. Dewey's kind of weak. He does get the kill onto Rapha, which is very, very good, but he needs to be incredibly careful because he could easily be farmed up if Liquid guys find him.
Dewey's going to try and offer some support. If you miss that rail, that one missed rail has almost cost him the power-up. Forced to run away, and I don't blame him for it. Shield coming through. Gets a little bit more protection. They're going to trade it 1-for-1, though. I'll be honest, that protection did not offer a lot in terms of Myztro Gaming getting back into this fight. Rapha getting another frag.
We're seeing a much, much nicer game from Myztro overall. They seem to be controlling the pace of the game way better. I feel like Dewey's clutch pick's actually been kind of good. He's managed to make good use of it, but he's got to be careful in these fights. It's just forcing you to be far more selective in the engagements you want to go in.
Clutch going down. I mean, he gets the heavy, but at what cost? A free frag, that's what it is.
He can't get even much damage out. He needs to be able to be doing something damage-wise, otherwise these steals just seem to make little to no sense.
100 damage outright, and a rail, and another rail. The safety of which I think Strog can get that free poke if he knows someone's nearby and he's not at risk. Not being able to challenge 100 damage outright. He misses the thing, but it's not going to work out. Brick gets the frag anyway.
Let's go over to Brick. Oh, actually, let's go over to Dewey, who's going to be using the shield. That's going to be Brick helping him out as well. I like that, working with his teammate, using that shield together as a team.
I feel feel like the change to clutch has definitely worked out in this map. And you know, it took an entire first map, I think, for Dewey to get comfortable realizing what champion actually is going to work against these guys. Unfortunately, it is starting to escape them a little bit. But again, the safety knowing. And you know Dewey he is sick to death of that bloody Pika.
The problem with Dewey is he's been using the shield about 20 to 30 seconds before the power-up spawns, meaning that he doesn't have it available when it's about to be there. So he's letting go of these power-ups in favor of getting these favorable 2 versus 1s or 2 versus 2s, where there's so much more positive effect to be gained in contesting for the power-up.
And you know there's going to be coordination there. You know, Rapha's going to be calling clutch shield is down.
Yeah.
The second DaHanG realizes the shield is down, that's going to allow Pika to get that 100 damage kamikaze, because it's clutch. There's no way Pika is going to miss that hitbox.
Oh, exactly. Great quad run there from Rapha as he ends it, still alive, still with stack to play with, knows where both the opponents are. I like this from Rapha.
There it is.
Oh, I think it went down though. I think Pika didn't do the damage on this occasion, but that LG obviously glued on to the hitbox.
There's one thing Pika does though, it's going to be divert attention. And if you're not being able to damage Rapha, of all players, when someone's attacking you, then that's unfortunate.
Got to watch out. Brick hurting a little bit. His damage has been chipping away, but he does close it out, and that's going to be heavy for Rapha also. We've been on board with him for a while, but I'm happy to stick with him, to be honest.
Especially now he's got piercing sight. Does he use it now? Yeah, he's going to be coordinating. Are we going to see a Pika from DaHanG?
Mr. Rail hits onto Dewey, but he's missing shots. Just get the LG out, get that reliable damage going. And Dewey uses the shield and dies, and it's 30 seconds to the power-up, and it's really tilting me at the moment, Ketchup. I want the shield on the power-up.
It is unfortunate, because I just don't even think there's enough cooldown shards on this map to allow Dewey, because they're being collected by other people.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure he's going to have it ready.
Here it is.
10 seconds on protection, and he's, yeah, 19 seconds. He can't have the shield ready for this power-up.
So he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck at that. But he does get the kill onto Rapha, which is good. Let's see if he can push through.
Pika!
100 damage.
Oh, Pika! You MVP.
And DaHanG, here's the protection. Here's Dewey.
Oh, no, Dewey. He is in trouble.
Oh, he's got the shield up now, but there's just not much he can do. Pummeled away.
There's 2 people on him. I mean, he can only do so much there. And this is just slipping away from Myztro further and further. Caught Dewey from behind. Of course, there's no shield wall activated. Going in with the pummel just in case, but he doesn't need it. This is just going better and better for Liquid.
See, there goes the protection. Missing the first rocket, but there it is. You just go into LG versus Dewey, and you know you're likely to be winning that fight. Unless you're starting off weak, you should be absolutely fine.
Let's get Pika for the guaranteed damage. Another a massive amount of damage. I think he did. It definitely looked like it connected.
It looked like it did as well.
Didn't hear a sound, but the rail. Brick must be weak after that. Yep, of course, Rapha finishes him.
Bit of extra health for DaHanG. Finds Brick. So many targets to choose from. Doesn't know where to go in the end. He goes down. Brick and Dewey looking to hit 20, but fortunately for them, Liquid have hit the 40 mark already. It's a big shame for Myztro, because I really like
Pika was back.
Yeah, it does. I think it's a big shame for Myztro, because I really like how they're playing at the start of the map, but I felt like they haven't been able to fix the tiny errors they were making as the map continued, which has kind of made them not tiny errors, but actually much bigger areas and errors in the grand scheme of things.
If it's being made over and over again, it starts to become a lot more obvious, I think. And
sure.
I'd be very interested. So we have 20 seconds until quad damage. I think we should have a look, actually. What is the progress on Clutch's shield? Do we have it ready?
There could have been some hourglasses behind him, so it's possible. I'm going to stay with him. No hourglasses.
Nothing nearby. I don't think he's going to have the shield for yet another power-up. And Rapha, being almost unchallenged, gets one shotgun frag.
Still got a stack, so definitely they've got to watch out for a little bit. Shield comes up. There's the timing. Much better play now from Dewey. He needs to get a little bit of health and armor, but he could be looking good for a small run now. He's weak. His health is
13 HP, and they're going to be going to Mega. They're going to know that that's going to be like the #1 place he has to retreat to. Yeah, they're just keeping him locked down.
Good rail.
Needs to land more.
Need to switch over to machine gun or LG, I think, to really get the most out of this. Looking for an angle, but he's up behind him, and they're going to go for him first. Too easy not to. Quad right at the end, and I think that Pika tried to come out for a second.
He must have tried to just, given the fastest possible time he could pop Pika, he must have fancied his chances at getting it before it was basically killed. I think he would have won the 1v1. Bold stuff, but I guess if they have 3 frags left to take the map, he can afford to take those risks.
And here, a little bit of a fight over the Mega Health. That is going to be Brick getting in the end. Tui, though, does get himself a double kill, has got the shield up. If he's going to use the shield, use it now, because it'll come back up. Here it is, for the power-up.
Definitely had to wait until he saw someone. Gets a guaranteed frag on Rapha. He's very weak. Double kill. That is why managing the shield works so wonderfully.
Well,
and he can afford to do it now, because it's 45 seconds until protection. Unfortunately, the map is almost over.
That's the thing. The question is, are they even going to be able to get to the protection? Because the thing is, if they do, they've actually got a chance of getting a few frags in. 18 frags before the end of the time, that's a big, big ask. But they could actually get to about 40 if they really play intelligently now. Now I think Brick's got to be careful. One more frag needed for Liquid. Shields up, and he's forced to use it straight away, although he didn't need to in reality.
He popped Pika, and while he was cloaked, he couldn't see himself falling into the abyss.
But that's kind of nice, because now it puts him back over to 48. Switch. Oh, he's just too slow with it, unfortunately. Back over to 1 frag needed. Brick does get the kill onto Rapha. Protection, it's about to be up. Uh-oh. This is bad. Bad news for the Myztro guys. DaHanG locks down the last frag, and it's now going to be 2-0. Moving into a 3rd map.
Now, things didn't go as bad, I think, as they did in map 1. But I think map 1 went especially bad for the guys. I'm wondering if we're going to see Dewey go with the same kind of selection. Because it just kind of seems to me like, it's like you mentioned, right, there are a few small errors. Now, the clutch pick was actually working. Unfortunately, I think in those moments when you don't have the shield available, you're just way too easy for Liquid to hit. Like, there's no way they're going to be missing a lot of shots, like key rails, key LG sequences, you know, big old rockets that are doing huge damage. And now you've got the extra damage which comes from Pika. That's a lot of hits that are almost guaranteed to hit clutch.
Well, I think it was Dewey's responsibility there to really manage his ability usage perfectly. That's when clutch is going to be usable, I think, in these 2v2 scenarios. And when he's not got that ability up, it's on Team Liquid then to really go there.
That's a huge bee just flying past my head. Sorry, guys. Hi, friends.
It's on Liquid then to really go out of their way and try and take down Dewey as much as possible while his shield is not there. So they've got to do that. But the thing is, Dewey, he's going for these small little wins with the ability when he should be looking at the grand scheme. Look at the power-ups, secure those, assist Brick in those instances, and it's going to get them a lot further. It's definitely better than they did in map 1. I wonder if they can do even better than that in map 3.
Well, speaking of map 3, Ruins of Sarnath. We haven't seen this in a while, but we'll be seeing it again. Ruins of Sarnath historically is an excellent map.
Hello, mate.
That's interesting. I'm just going to kind of like, sorry guys, I just don't want to get stung by it. Anyway.
Taking interest.
It prefers the lights now, so we're safe for now. But Ruins of Sarnath historically is a liked map by the Liquid guys. Yes. You know, I think DaHanG in particular, him, and there's always the tales and all the old VODs of DaHanG and his clutch whenever he plays in a team mode on Ruins. And actually, we see clutch picked again, but it's going to be Dewey going with the same pick. I'm interested to see who DaHanG has gone with in this map, though.
Let's have a look. I'll go over to the scoreboard now. Brick, strong and clutch combo versus Visor and Galena.
Thinking emoji.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Well, I mean, I'll buy it. Okay, we'll see what they can do.
I'm down with it. I like it. I like players kind of spreading out and being a little bit original with their picks. I think it's fantastic. He might have destroyed a totem just then as well, actually, with the Pika.
That might be quite an unsung piece of utility. It's quite an expensive way to get rid of a totem, but if you have to get through a teleporter, it's you know, we'll find out.
I think that's good. Watch out for the rails. Nice shot, though, from Rapha. He's using Piercing Sight, and he's going to get a double. They were walking dead men just then, and both so weak on stack.
Now, I think we'll have a look, and we kind of theory craft what this team composition will bring to the table, right? I think you're going to have, because it's a slightly bigger map, there's a slightly higher chance of Dewey being able to kind of see the outlines or see the, you know, the alert system that Pika brings in a team mode. Clutch, very dangerous on this map because there's plenty of cooldown shards on the map to go with.
He's going to try and chase that kill. The rockets are still quite good, but The good thing about, as you say, the shards. Oh, the rocket follow-up almost got him. I want to keep on board with Dewey because he's going to be looking for some shards right now. He's going to find a couple in front of him. Not loads he can do. Okay, I say that as he just gets the kill regardless.
Crucial shotgun frags. If he missed even, if he was even remotely off target on one of those shots, I think he actually would have been out-fragged in that 1v1.
Well, let's see. Health looking good. Shield ready. He's got no rockets. He might be able to pick them up now. Does get the rail. The shield should last till when the power-up spawns. There goes Rapha. Here he is. And he's got the LG to work. Way, way better from Dewey.
Has to be careful, of course. He doesn't want to give this up. I can see a Pika coming through. Unfortunately misses one rocket, misses two, and that is going to allow DaHanG to collect.
Big, big shame for Dewey because it was a much, much better setup in general. He's got a lot more shards on the map to make clutch work. But Dewey, actually, he storms down, does get rid of DaHanG. It's an exchange, but I kind of like... It's kind of ruining the momentum a little bit for Liquid. Oh, gorgeous. I say that and he gets a double kill.
Just classic
Never
Rapha.
mind.
Classic Rapha at the end of the day. He's going to have piercing sight back momentarily, and he's going to have it back now, in fact, because obviously he's near heavy. The amount of time shards that exist around this area, you know, you've got the ones that are behind him, you've got the ones near the jump pad, and of course, by heavy itself, there are some extra ones too.
Still Dewey, he's using his shield at interesting times, and not bad times as well.
Uh-oh.
Rick, you need to get these flight lessons from DaHanG at the moment. He seems to be really king of Pika control.
You know, that's one thing, right? That DaHanG's movement with Pika is so impressive, you almost forget that you can crash into a wall and waste the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because DaHanG, I don't actually think he did it once. The only times he got rid of Pika by a wall was when he wanted to, because he was at risk.
He's a pilot at heart. Ooh, Dewey got himself a mining drill kill.
They're going in together. Dewey, big trouble. Was not ready for DaHanG to be right up close because Rapha was up top. It's splitting that attention.
Yeah. I'm going to go back over to Dewey in a second. Oh, he tried to use the Pika just for some extra burst damage. There's no... Oh
my God.
Looking for another. He's not quite finding it, but he's gonna go back up the bounce pad and back up again.
What is going on? Oh no! Oh, press 1 to pay respects.
And during that time, Dewey didn't get himself any shards, anything like that. So right now, he's not really going to be able to kill this. He can escape, and that's about it.
Yeah, and that's going to be a win for Rapha anyway, because that's going to be a clutch without his shield.
And I think he wants to kill the clutch now. It's like, I know you're down. I'm coming for you. Oh. Almost go for it. Clutch still able to move around the map quite quickly. You can see the Pika.
He knows he's here. Oh, Brick. Unfortunate.
You gave away everything there, Brick, unfortunately. That is savage.
I mean, we've all seen that. We've all been in that situation where you can see a Pika and you know where it's gone from. It's like, where is he going to see me? I don't think so.
Does he know?
Gauntlet. Gauntlet out. I was hoping we'd see a gauntlet from Rapha, actually.
I think he saw the Pika going already into its like missile mode.
Yeah, he must have
was like, it's going to explode soon. Let's just secure it.
I don't have time. Let's get the rocket out.
Otherwise, definitely.
Almost too tempting.
Well, it's going to find Brick down at heavy. It's not spawning for 5 seconds, but he's going to get pushed out of here by the shielded Dewey. And oh, he doesn't even get himself the heavy armor. It's going to be taken by Rapha. DaHanG's there for the support.
We don't even see one. And this is actually a very dangerous piercing sight because Rapha is going to be more than aware that these guys are fresh off spawn and they're not going to have any weapons or stack to take this fight. They're going to pincer in and surround Dewey. Dewey cannot survive this. And another fantastic spawn.
Oh my
Brick
God.
has very little to defend himself with there. Rapha on only 2 HP.
He's still surviving. If he can survive to the power-up and get a run going from that, if the totems just come back up, he's going to get himself the armor.
Oh my God.
Rapha looking indestructible. Heading 10 seconds towards quad number 2 of Ruins.
And he gets Brick as well. Rapha showing us why he is one of the most indestructible players in this scene. Nice. And he has been for his entire Quake career, basically.
Oh, but Dewey, good job for him. He kind of zones out Rapha and DaHanG quite well, so I'm going to have to switch over to him because he's done remarkably well to pick this up. And a lot of people would be tempted to, while you got that shield up, do a little bit of damage as well, but your shield goes down for 1 whole second if you press mouse 1 now as a clutch using your ability. So you want to be really, really careful when you're feathering the damage out.
For sure. Overextending can always be the worst thing for Clutch. I think people have been playing Clutch for so long, it can be so tempting, and unfortunately missing the rail and the suicide.
Rip.
You can see how punishing missing a rail can be against the likes of Team Liquid.
And it's actually Brick who's been struggling a little more than Dewey this time with
I'm
Strog.
not sure if I should see, maybe we should just see him change away from the Strog. I don't think the Strog pick is working at all, and there is still time to change.
There is.
I'm just worried if it's going to throw him off his flow, you know?
But then again, you've got to account for probably, let's call it an average of like 30, 35 seconds where you're not going to have an ability on whichever champion you choose. And by that point, how many frags you've been getting already? That's probably another 2 to 3 frags for Liquid. You want to make an effect on the game as quickly as possible. Gonna chase down Brick. He is going to be demolished. Dewey gets out unscathed from that particular battle.
I actually quite liked that one. I liked Rapha's use of piercing sight in that fight, actually, using it mid-combat in that one area, because there's so much obstructions. Sometimes it can be hard to see where people are going to try and juke or try and dodge you. If he has piercing sight, neither of those two players could actually evade him. You know, Rapha had complete vision, and he was able to secure both those frags.
See, using it again. That should be the heavy up soon. Oh, does manage to find the headshot, but Dewey comes right back at him. Dewey's changed.
He's gone in for the visor now.
Good pick.
I think so, because I know we talked about how long it will be while you don't have your ability, but there's so much cooldown. There's so much cooldown pickups on the map. It's, you know, you can have it back pretty sharpish. He hasn't been changed to visor for very long, and he's still got it. But Brick going in with Pika. I'm wondering if he can get much going.
Where is Brick?
He still has it.
He's searching.
But where is he?
Oh, but he can't get anything going.
Yeah, he was actually pretty close to them while he was close.
You've got to build up the speed a little bit when you go into the missile mode, so you don't immediately go very fast. It kind of like carries forward quicker as it goes on. Excuse me. A bit like Scalebearer, for instance, with his bull rush.
Now you have to wonder, 38 frags on the side of Team Liquid. And because this is very much their final map, they're on the verge of a 3-0. And this would be, I mean, without question, a very dominant 3-0. Dewey comes off better, but he's got to be weak. He has to watch out for totems too. I mean, we haven't talked about it much in this map because we've been seeing it constantly throughout the day, but Galena in 2v2, especially on teleport-heavy maps like this, is a real thorn in someone's side, I think. Yeah, for sure. You're expecting DaHanG to be a bit of an anchor as well in the team. Have that reliable heal from time to time, and also pull out some impressive feats with the combat skills. Unfortunately for him, Dewey's going to land many back-to-back rails to take him down. And this is the time to land those shots, 100%. And the tournament's on the line. The problem is it's going quite slow. This is a hard situation because it's 9 frags left for Team Liquid, and they're showing us that they're not shy of racking them up. Also, timer is starting to become a huge factor here because there's not long even left of the round, to be honest. There's just over 5 minutes. This is a hard situation for Myztro Gaming. You can see that Brick has been struggling a lot on this map. I know I've already mentioned it, but on previous maps, it's been Dewey that's been struggling. I just feel like in this final, we've not seen both of them having a good game at the same time. One of them has always been kind of getting repeat fragged a lot, but in this map, it's at least Rapha. He's getting time to shine a little bit. We'll go over to DaHanG though with the quad. He was trying to run away from the quad holder and he just ran right into a Rapha rail. I mean, that is a sandwich you do not want to be in the middle of. Dewey getting one of the rails. He has been landing them by the end of the round. Gets another quad. Unfortunately, this is going to be a small victory in the grand scheme of things. He gets Rapha, but he needs so much more than this. Where can he find them? He hasn't got enough hourglasses there to get the piercing sight off. He's got to have a wild stab in the dark at where they are. Can search for a rail now, but that quad has disappeared. And he's gonna, I think he smells blood too. He knows he'd missed a rail. Rapha not really afraid to breathe in the situation. If he uses the jump pad, no, of course not. Is he going to try and run around and take out DaHanG? Because DaHanG is looking more than comfortable in these 1v1s. He has been such a strong player. What's DaHanG doing right now? I'll switch over to Rapha though. He'll pick up a kill. They need one more. And Liquid will have won the first final. What a rocket. I think it was the follow-up rocket as well that got him for the last kill. From start to finish, these guys played it almost perfect, I think, in 2v2. I mean, like, they looked strong on every single map. The aiming was on point, the decision-making was on point, and the communication was on point. You could almost you know, you can almost hear the calls out loud that these guys were making to each other. If the second someone went down, these guys would gravitate exactly to where everyone else was going to be on the map. There was, I don't even think, you know, it didn't look like they'd lost timers on anything at any point, because they're really good at duel, they're really good at other modes. They know how to play Quake, right? So if you have 2v2 and you've got two of the best communication players in the business on the same team, that's only going to mean good things for them.
Or I think different to the EU finals as well, we saw Liquid really smash their way through the semi, smash their way through the grand final. They've really, I mean, cemented themselves, as if they hadn't already, as such a strong team in NA. At least for Crazy Clowns, they had a pretty rough time getting through the semi-finals and even getting to the semi-finals to begin with, before being able to take it out in a more convincing grand final. Here we have, though, a bit of a replay action.
Yeah, this was the really interesting map where Dewey was very much, I think, looking for his flow. He was trying to find, I think, the champion that gave...
Acrobatics.
He was trying to find, I think, the right champion for the job, and he did settle on Clutch, you know, throughout all of Awoken. This was amazing from DaHanG too, showing us why I think Strog can be such a flavorful pick on some of these maps. But it's not just like he's picking it just to show off or to try and be flashy. Genuinely, there was some genius behind going with Strog, but he had to just be super, super confident. And it was
Strog replay cam, isn't it?
Yeah, because he just got it again. The same situation. Dewey, in those situations, Rapha was clearly coordinating with DaHanG that the shield was down. So DaHanG knows, all right, I'm just going to go for Pika here. There's no way he's going to miss the shot. And of course,
reaction. Lovely. And even gets the kill on DaHanG as well. Nice little double. You want to be seeing yourself on the highlight reel.
And I mean, this Ruins of Sarnath was just, this was Liquid's map from start to finish. I think the guys, it's like you said, right, they haven't had to cement themselves. They didn't have to cement themselves already, because I think we all know, it's pretty common knowledge that Rapha and DaHanG are the two strongest players in North America right now, and the results are proving it. I think tonight has proven it as well. And again, just for one final time, you know, these guys are all going to be going to the big 2v2 LAN.
What's going to be really interesting in NA, though, is how long are Rapha and DaHanG going to be the top dogs of the scene in that region? Because at some point or another, Quake Champions keeps growing and grinding and going through its own timeline. There's going to be more players that are going to be cropping up and doing things. I wonder who's going to be the next people to be